1,000 combat injured veterans will soon receive letters notifying them that they were overtaxed by the federal government on their disability severance payments. They're going to have a year to reclaim what's theirs. And joining us now to discuss this is Brian Ashcroft. He is the Regional Director of Franchise Operations for Liberty Tax Services. Along with him, a face that many of us know, race car driver turned commentator, Kyle Petty. It's great having both of you guys.
Hey, thanks for having us.
All right, so give us a preview. What should folks look out for this season, Brian?
So I couldn't quite hear you there, but I think the question was regarding the veterans benefits. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So one of the things that happened earlier this month was that the Department of Defense is starting to contact about 130,000 disabled veterans who received combat pay. And what happened was when they got their severance package, they withheld taxes from that, and they shouldn't have had to pay any taxes on that. And so now that's going to be available to them in the form of a refund. And so when Liberty Tax heard about this, we know that we do taxes, and so we wanted to step in and make it easy for the veterans to get that refund. And so we're going to do a free amended return for those veterans to help them claim that money that's rightfully due them and to keep the stress off of them. So we set up a website, libertytaxveteranshelp.com, that they could go to for information, or they can walk into any of our offices around the nation, and we'll be happy to help them get that amended tax return filed.
No question. Kyle, how did you get involved with this?
Yeah, Liberty Tax Service got involved in NASCAR last year with Chris Buescher and with Myatt Snyder in the truck series. And Myatt will be driving the Liberty Tax Service truck on Friday night, tomorrow night at Daytona, the kickoff for this year's truck series and NASCAR at Daytona. So we're excited about that. But, you know, we, meaning NASCAR and the military, have always kind of been hand in glove. So many times, so many races we go to, there's a military presence, an honoring from the NASCAR drivers and NASCAR to the military on what they do. So it was just a natural thing when this came about to look at this issue, to see this problem, and for NASCAR to be a part of it, for Liberty Tax Service to be a part of it, and for me to have an opportunity to speak up now that Daytona's here this weekend. It's the perfect platform.
No question. At Liberty Tax, you're in a weird situation, Liberty Tax, because you're like, all right, you can sponsor a car, you can do this, you can do that. Frankly, everybody that you advertise to here in this country is doing taxes. So we're all in this together. Liberty Tax. It makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Let's talk about this big race that's coming up. We have the 60th running of the Daytona 500. This is big. This is NASCAR's creme de la creme.
Yeah, you know, we start the season with our Super Bowl, with our big race. It's the Daytona 500. It's always been that way. I don't know why NASCAR does it, but that's the way it's always been. And this is the only race that when you win the Daytona 500, you're not called the winner, you're called the champion, the Daytona 500 champion, the only race we run all year long.
Wow.
The who's who in our sport has won this race. So the 60th running of it, it's going to be huge. There's a lot of storylines coming out of there. Chevy with a new car, young drivers, old drivers, a new rules package for suspension. So this may be one of the most exciting races that we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years.
Absolutely. Always changing things up with NASCAR. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out this year. I'm curious, do you have any statistics on speaking of taxes? We're in the middle of February right now. How many people have actually gotten their taxes done at this point?
You know, that's an interesting question. As one of the things that happened in the tax industry was the PATH Act was passed, and so it delayed certain credits that would fund on a refund until after February the 15th. But the IRS releases statistics each week, and we're probably up to about 25% of the folks that have already filed their tax return. And if you continue to follow the patterns like they've done in the past, about 50% will end up filing by February, and then you'll get that lull, and then when April comes around, you'll see another big spike. So March is pretty much the slow time, and then April is when it picks back up again. But February is a big time when people come in to get the money that had been withheld for their paycheck each week, and they get that tax refund back. So, yeah, we're in full swing right now. Our Super Bowl is right now.
Yeah, no question that April's that one time of the year where you know that you're going to be waiting in line to put something into a mail slot. It's amazing. Guys, it's great having you. Congratulations on this great idea to be able to help out our veterans, and best of luck to all the runners of the Daytona 500.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, thanks so much.
All right, for more guidance on the 2018 tax season and the disability severance payment refund, this is the year you got to take advantage of this. Visit the website you see on your screen. Liberty Tax Services is a proud sponsor of the Morning Blend.